Well. Daebak's Guide to the Universe of DGV, Episode 7, will commence with Crow's Nest. My wife's at work. It's Tuesday. I'm on my fourth day of vacation, my second day of work week without working. I just drank a glass of water because things were getting out of hand. All right, you want to ace run it? I throw a 7 speed and I just kind of go like that and it goes in the hole. Maybe. Or it goes over the hill. All right, it's not that safe though. 90% of the time, this run will go long. There's a look at it, right? Yeah. All right, there's look number 1. So, you can do it based on wind, but I kind of want to make it too wide. That'll probably go too long and show you. All right, there you go. So that's what usually happens when you run it. You miss it and you go over the cliff. The other safer run is to flip the other way, grab a 9-speed and kind of go up in somewhere in here and give it something like that. And give it something like that and it'll go blam. All right, that's if you want to try to ace it. If you don't want to ace it, just grab a 5-speed and forehand it and just kind of fling it up there and you're going to be fine. All right, there's hole 1 of Crow's Nest. Hole 2 is something I really like to ace. It's like, this is where like one of the things, there's no Daebak line out there, but I'd like to think this is the Daebak line. Ba-boom. I got a forehand brave. I kind of aim up in here. I got to make sure I go wide enough. I went too wide. All right, that can go in. Let's try again to prove it can go in. Looks like a good aim point. And went wide again. Okay. 1 wind, it will work. 2 winds, unless it now it'll be short, right? All right, it's close. Let's try another wind. That in a calm wind, that is I don't know, maybe a 15% ace. I really do know that line. Now, what do we got here? Well, I got that same wind. So that means, I think I tried it 3 times. That means I got 3 more times to prove the 15%. Too wide. What the fuck, Bachheim? Wow. Now I'm not really... Wow. Everything is too wide. Weird. Maybe because... What the hell? There's a 1... Now it'll be short, right? And... Okay. See, it can happen! All right. There is the calm wind ace line. I guess I did make it like 1 in 6. Exact. God, I don't want the same wind. All right. So you got a different look at it. I'm all about roll 7 speed. So if you got a different wind... Here's a 4. You can go backhand, do the same thing, just don't put as much power on it. And something like that. All right, anyway, the Daebak line is now live in the universe. I hope I don't lose too many strokes because I'm sharing my shit. 3. A hole that I'm not really great at. I got a 1 wind, so I get a sapphire. I slide left. Now, I used to put middle chevron here, but then I kind of realized, look at that top chevron, and the right-hand corner of it is kind of button up against that mountain. It's kind of where I want to go. That's kind of my default aim point. And that's like safe shit. Wind-dependent hole. There are 3 different discs you can use based on 3 different winds. What we going to get here? All right, here you kind of need a 10 speed. And I'm kind of weird. I go to that same aim point. Um, and make sure you switch over. And I'll be safe. Yeah, maybe. What the funk? All right. I guess that was a little knockdown 3 wind. Dag burn it. All right, so you had to crank it a little more. Anyway, that hole is basically throw it and get to the green, and then kind of learn what works for you. The next hole, I got some secret sauce. There's some wind dependent things. All right, this is aceable, you say? How can you do it, Daebak? Well, I slide left. I aim right about there. I'm looking at the sign as my aim point helper, and I kind of go something like that. I don't know, and that was a little too high. Is it aceable? It really is. All right, 1 wind. There we go. That's my look. Other winds, other discs. Actually, 4 discs I'll use on this hole. Oh, try again just to see if we get anything more exciting. All right, 3 wind in my face. Now I'm using this windbreak roll driver. And I'm kind of aiming in a little bit of a different spot, but I'm kind of throwing the same angle. The angle seems to be one of the really big important things about making this. Now, is it going to go out of bounds? It could. There you go. We just cleared it in a 3 wind. I don't know. If we get a tailwind next time, you'll see super secret sauce. But I think I'm like the 3rd generation to learn that from Reese. Well, we got a 2 wind. All right, with a 2 wind, it's not. You're better off, if you want to ace it, you got to go with the, actually, it's probably better overall to go with the Sapphire, but you can also do it with a 9-speed. Once again, I'm kind of angle dependent. But this, yeah, you don't want to bounce early. Ooh, see? I mean, all right, I think that's time to stop before I give away too many secrets. There's another secret with a tailwind that you can DM me about and give me money for. All right, this one. You want to ace run it, you need a 9-speed. You put the middle chevron right about on that tree. You kick her out like that. And it'll look like it's going in the hole, and it might go up 90 yards past. Okay, so that is like not the best. But that was an ace run. You want to be safe, I take a 7-speed. I aim a little bit right and higher, and I do the same sort of thing, and it magically finds gaps. I mean, those are my 2 methods. 85 is probably further than you want to be, but in a 1-wind, I don't normally do that. All right, enough of that. That hole is just, it's so disc dependent. All right, here, everybody's got their own sky crazy shit. I've only aced it like 4 times in my life, and it's always been on a rock skip. You want to be under, you want to skip off you skip off that rock, you have a chance. You can do it with a skip disc too, but then you just kind of got to be a little more careful because the skip disc can cause you trouble. I'm not going to say too much about that. There's a couple of ways to ride the wall. We're doing good. All right, 7. How do I ace it? Well, with this crosswind, I guess I would throw a glide driver. I prefer a roll variety, and I'm just going to kind of straight pull that shit. And it had no chance whatsoever. Disc down to a windbreak roll. And then you're tempted to crank her out a little bit to the right. Yeah, didn't work. Safe, all right. there are ways to ace it, and it's basically aim at the hole and fucking throw it in the hole. Here I got a 2-wind at me. All right, I can throw a sapphire. I like to throw the middle chevron right on the teardrop. I'm going to be safe. You can go as low as a 9-speed, perhaps even a 7-speed, depending on wind. Wind in my face. All right, well, that was dumb, but I'm just kind of showing you. There are many ways. Many ways to get there. 8 is a hole that I ace 1 out of every 200 times. Maybe 150. Recently, I've learned you want to slide left, but not quite all the way left. You want that top chevron on the snow up there on that rock somewhere. And you want to kind of go like that. You want to hug the wall. That's too far right. Can we ace it? I'll give it 3 more chances to ace. But I like glide drive, and I cut it too close. Okay. You don't really want to be there. That's too far away. And that's too wide. It's a really tough little thing to figure out. Looks like, all right, last chance, but you get the aim point, you get the disc, and we're not going to ace it. But we're going to try again because I didn't like that. How many minutes am I? Oh, 11 minutes, and I only got, wow, these are getting faster. That's kind of fun, though. That's not bad. All right, it was bad. Tough hole to ace. Ace is possible. I usually pull off the ace in events and times when I least expect it. All right, number 9. Number 9. Some people have crazy, I can fucking drive the whole discs. I don't fucking get that. I take a sapphire. I go forehand. I put the middle chevron between this dark spot and that dark spot, and I kind of go like that. Now, this is right to left, so I don't need that much, but you want to make sure you're angling it to the left, because if you angle it to the right, shit happens. That was the atypical bounce. 184, we're going to throw a core, and we're going to go something like that, and we're going to kind of hope. It wasn't very good. I think I'll play it again to kind of, maybe I can get to one of the more typical spots. There's kind of 2 typical landing zones. One's about 200 feet away. One's about 170 feet away. Much better to be 170 feet away. All right, so we'll do this. Now, I always kind of over crank it to the right, or this way. All right, that's your normal, typical good shot. All right, 180. Here I throw a 5-speed. Don't worry about the wall. The game pretends it's not there. I aim a little bit there. Now this is going to go in. And I kind of go just under that Wi-Fi bar, and it goes in the hole. See? All right. I think that's a good place to end this. Thanks for shopping.